In an industry in which change is so relentless, it's amazing how little has changed about the way that most salespeople are taught to sell. This is a huge mistake because one of the things about your selling environment that's changing dramatically is the profile of your customers. It wasn't that long ago that decisions about acquiring information technology were made by buyers who either had a technical background themselves or who relied heavily on some sort of consultant or key influencer with a technical background to make the right decision. As a result, most salespeople created sales presentations that were focused on the technical merits of their solutions, which they demonstrated with technical specifications about things like a monitor's dot pitch or the speed of the processor or any of that other stuff that we've all come to know and love. But a funny thing happened to this marketplace in a relatively short period of time. Technology has abruptly become a strategically important part of everyone's business. Frontline business owners and managers who wouldn't have anything to do with technology just a short time ago have now started taking over the decision-making process for technical products and services. As a result, instead of talking to early adopters and other customers who were comfortable with technology, you're now spending more and more time talking to frontline business managers, owners, and other mainstream business customers. You won't be surprised then if I tell you that today's customer has an entirely different set of motivations than the customers you were selling to in the past. That means that the sales approach that worked in the past is not going to be effective in the future. If you want to continue to succeed in selling high-tech products and services, you're going to have to adjust your approach to meet the specific needs of today's low-tech customer. As a practical matter, there are two things you need to keep in mind when you're talking to mainstream customers. First of all, as I mentioned a moment ago, your mainstream customers are motivated by considerations that are entirely different from those that motivated your more technical customers. In fact, there's one motive that underlies the decision-making process of almost every mainstream customer. Your mainstream customer is basically uncomfortable with technology and is afraid of making a costly or embarrassing mistake. The solution? You need to demonstrate that you, your company, and your solution are a safe choice. You want to demonstrate that this is true because of what you bring to the table as a reliable partner. In effect, for your small and medium-sized business customers, you become part of the MIS department. In fact, for your smaller customers, you are the MIS department. In addition, you want to emphasize the safety involved in implementing solutions based on technology from an industry leader like Hewlett-Packard. By the way, you'll find more important information about enhancing your customer's comfort level in the module of this program about reference selling. The second thing you need to keep in mind is the fact that you cannot communicate with a mainstream customer if you're not speaking in his or her language. One of the biggest challenges in this industry is the fact that, we all spend a lot of time talking to each other. As a result, we get into a groove where we consistently use acronyms and abbreviations and jargon as a shortcut to communication. We all know what we're talking about, but the problem is that our mainstream customer doesn't know. And let me tell you one other thing about mainstream customers, or about any customers for that matter. They don't like being intimidated and they don't want to feel stupid. This means that if you go off on a tangent, your mainstream customers aren't going to stop you and say, "Excuse me, I have no idea what you're talking about." Instead, they're going to stand there, nod as though they know what you're talking about, and then leave as soon as they can to go find someone who'll explain it all to them. Now here's what's worked for many successful salespeople. Find a friend or relative who has no clue about technology. Like your Aunt Emma in Peoria. Take 5 or 10 minutes to give that person one of your basic sales presentations. Then ask them if they have any idea what you were talking about. If they don't have any idea what you're saying, then I guarantee that your mainstream customers are having problems understanding you too. Your success in selling high-tech products to low-tech customers is going to increase dramatically when you discipline yourself to consistently speak your customer's language.